Hello there again, everybody. This is going to be Jund League number 64, and I'm trying a few different things today. Nothing too drastically different. I went down to 3 copies of Dark Confidant, and that's because, or at least partly because, I'm playing 2 copies of Ren and 6 today. Still not a gigantic fan of Ren and 6, at least right now. I don't underestimate this card's power. I definitely think there are the situations and the matchups where it's outstanding. I just don't think those situations and matchups come up as often as the situations and matchups where Dark Confidant is amazing. So I'm still wanting to play lots of Dark Confidants, but they do fulfill a similar role. So to fit in 2 Ren and 6s, I'm going to do a 3 copy of Dark Confidant. So 5 cards that kind of fulfill that similar card advantage 2 mana spell role. I'm also bringing in 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze. I haven't played Scavenging Ooze in a long while, but I think this might be the time to start bringing it back, and I'll go over that again in the metagame breakdown. And then, I guess along the lines of wanting to play Scavenging Ooze, which requires a lot of green, I cut the 2 copies of Seasoned Pyromancer. I think at the end of every league, I have always pretty much said that the card that had impressed me the least had been the Seasoned Pyromancer. So I just took out the card that's been impressing me the least and put in the experimental card, which is Scavenging Ooze. As far as the main deck is concerned, the only one other change is I took out the copy of Maelstrom Pulse. So I went -1 Pulse, -1 Dark Confidant, -2 Seasoned Pyromancer, up 2 Ooze, up 2 Ren and 6. So 4 in, 4 out. And then in the sideboard, I'm trying one thing different. I know a lot of people have been mentioning Rampaging Ferocidon alongside that new Beetle that prevents counters from being placed on creatures that your opponents control. I know Reed Duke piloted Ferocidon and said Beetle to some success in a league not long ago, and a lot of people have been asking me to give it a shot. So I'm going to try out the Ferocidon first. Obviously, 1 copy, I'm not going to expect to see it a whole lot. But I mean, if we see it, cool, and if we don't, also fine with that. Yeah, everything else is the same. Let's take a look at the current modern metagame, and I think you'll see pretty immediately why I like Scavenging Ooze at the moment. It's not fantastic versus Blitz. In fact, I'd argue that it's not even that great. It's good for hitting Lava Darts out of the yard, but it's going to die to most of the opponent's removal pretty quickly. But I mean, it's one of the heavier hitting threats that may help us stabilize. Burn, it's not excellent versus Burn, but gaining a couple extra life is good. I think it's fine versus Blue-White Control. You can snipe Snapcaster targets out of the graveyard, and there are other niche uses as well. I don't really like it versus Blitz. Hammer Time. I do obviously love it versus Dredge. So just looking at the top 5 here, we've got 3 matchups where it's medium to good, and then 1 matchup where it's great. So this might be a time for a Scavenging Ooze. We've got Heliod Company. That's mainly what the Ferocidon tech is for. Death and Taxes, E-Tron, Regular Tron, Bant Stoneblade, all things that I'm not super afraid of, with the exception of obviously Tron. Don't want to play against this matchup if I can at all avoid it. And then we've got some more combo-y and mid-range decks in the rest of the top 15. So it looks like a pretty diverse meta, and I'm pretty happy with how Modern is turning out, at least right now in the post-Uro world. Definitely slightly concerning that, I guess, what is this, 10.5% is just straight nose to the ground, burn as quickly as you can, just get them dead. So I mean, that's something to I guess keep on the radar. But honestly, I like a format where the best decks are aggro decks, so I'm not super concerned. And let's just jump into a league and see what we can do. Constructed. Obviously, we want to go first, and obviously, we want to mulligan this. No lands, not much to think about. Alright, I think I'm just going to bottom second copy of Liliana. There's a chance Liliana is the best card in the matchup, so maybe I would want to ship Bloodbraid, but I'm not going to ship Push. It's our only thing to do early. And Bloodbraid's excellent top end. Noble Hierarch. So this is a forest, so it probably means it's not humans. It could be infect, but that's pretty not on the radar. I think I will just go ahead and push this off of Blood Crypt. I could just untap because, like, if I draw red and 6, it's so much better to hold the push. But if I don't draw it, I'm gonna wish I had, like, had my mana for a potential, like, Goyf or Bob on 2. Alright, so Thoughtseize is a fine one. Oh, it's Zoo. I guess a Stoneforge Zoo. I think I will just go ahead and take the Stoneforge. Liliana can Edict whatever first creature gets played. And then of note, opponents usually do play Dryad Arbor. I don't know that they play 2, and 1 is in their hand, so we can be less scared of getting blindsided by an Edict. Alright, so Ooze is the new card. Liliana will kill that all the same. Alright, and our lands are kind of painful here, but I mean, at least that's the land for Bloodbraid next turn. So opponent's probably going to go like Goyf and Dryad Arbor here. Okay, maybe not. I guess they can just play double creature, that works too. Alright, removal would be great off of the Bloodbraid. Thoughtseize is not very good. I guess I should plus first. I want to eat a card out of the opponent's hand, especially if this Bloodbraid hits another Liliana. Let's ditch Thoughtseize. Alright, so 1 mystery card. Alright, spin the wheel. What you got? Dark Confidant, that's fine. Any creature here is good because, like, we can block the Nacatl, block the Tarmogoyf with the Bob, and then since Nacatl will be dead, we can use the Liliana to Edict the other creature. Alright, and they are both going Liliana, so we get to execute that plan. Kessig Wolf Run cannot be activated right now. They may be able to play another creature, which would be unfortunate. But I mean, they don't even have red. Sure. That's gonna be unfortunate if we draw another Bloodbraid. Push. Push is excellent. So we can push Goyf, Edict that, opponent's on empty, and then it's a top deck orb, or our average draw is probably better. And again, they already used a Dryad Arbor. I doubt there's another. There isn't. Cool. Alright, let's just kill everything. The classic Jund plan. They haven't hit me once, and I'm at 11. That's kind of funny. Alright, so excellent draw for us from the opponent. We want literally any creature now. I mean, that kills the next thing as long as it's not a Goyf. I guess Stoneforges would also be bad because they could just get Batterskull. Come on, deck. That is a good one. So that'll be escaped next turn. That's going to outsize basically everything they could have. Yeah, too bad they don't still have Archon. Yeah, fair enough. Wow, they just keep drawing lands. That's pretty lucky. Liliana's great too, but I think I want to get my clock in. Does it matter what we exile? I guess we both played Tarmogoyf, so I actually want to eliminate types, right? Because we want Kroxa to be the biggest thing around. So I'll take out Planeswalker. And then the opponent is just dead in one hit. They've got to play something to block this, and we could just get it out of the way. So short of Path to Exile, I think we're winning here. And even if they do find exactly Path, we're back to a top deck Or where we've got double removal. Wow. Skillfully drawing 4 lands in a row. Well, that's unfortunate for the opponent. Alright, so we're playing against Zoo. Plague Engineer does trade with just about everything. He gets bolted though, so it's one of our weaker defensive cards. Brutality I don't think kills enough. Doesn't even kill Nakatl a good portion of the time. I don't really think I want Ferocidon. The opponent does play, we saw like, they play like Dryad Arbor, they play the Kessig Wolf Run, but there are not that many copies of those. I guess all the fetches are Dryads, but that's hardly a thing. Huntmaster might be good, just because like it might help stabilize the board. It makes 2 bodies, gains 2 life, flips back and forth. I think I do like bringing in the things that will just trade and like taking out the things that will trade a lot less often, which would be Kolaghan's Command. Dark Confidant is weaker on the draw. Dark Confidant and Renin 6 both don't look very good here. On the play, I think Renin 6 is probably better than Bob in this matchup. They've got like Hierarch and stuff. I mean, Brutality might be good enough for that reason, but there's not really any instants or sources that I care about other than like Bolt or Path, right? Back on Ren, nah, I'm not really certain. I mentioned, I guess you just got here. I mentioned that I still don't think Renin 6 is very well positioned, at least with the top 15 representation that we saw. But I mean, it's a pretty powerful card, so I'm just trying a 3-2 split. Yeah, there's a 4 card difference in the main deck and like 1 card different in the side. I need 1 cut. Let's make it a Thoughtseize. In fact, I think I want to take out the other Thoughtseize. Something better. Maybe just like first Kolaghan's Command is better. Give this a go. Yep, Ooze is back. Replacing Seasoned Pyromancer. Just because every time I've played Pyromancer, it's been fine, but I've at the end of every league I've said, well, this just has felt like my weakest card. So I took out what I think is the weakest card. This is close. I think this is actually a mulligan. I think killing the opponent's first and second creatures is going to be really important. We've got Goyf into Liliana, but the opponent can easily steamroll us. So I think this is pretty close, but on the draw, knowing we're playing against Zoo, I think I have to ship. I think if I'm on the play and I know I'm playing against Zoo, I can keep this. But I think I need to mulligan for like 2 lands and a Fatal Push or something. Alright, well, this is, I guess, slightly better. Not by much. I guess let's ditch a Bob since we're on the draw. Goyf is going to be fine. Ooze can maybe catch up on some life. Alright, no 1-drop is pretty good. We're going to have to be careful of, like, Veil of Summer. Get that Dryad Arbor, I dare you. Okay, they don't. Alright, so this will get Overgrown Tomb, first green, second black. Basic Plains. Stoneforge. Alright. Stoneforge is another reason why I wish I had removal. I mean, I'm not going to go to 5 when the 6 is serviceable. What's up, Chaos? They got the Batter Ball. Alright, Overgrown Tomb, still the plan. Can I draw a Fatal Push or a Bolt, please? A little late on that one. I mean, I can still just Thoughtseize and take the Batterskull, which doesn't seem terrible. Like, I can play Tarmogoyf, but then they get Batterskull into play. Yeah, let's do this. Jeez, their hand is pretty good. Alright, well, Batterskull is going to be the hardest thing to deal with. Let's take that. Play this. Say go. And then obviously if we find a land, great. Naya Blade? Yeah, it's just like Naya Stoneblade Zoo something or other. They're playing Wild Mikado, which makes me think they're more of a Zoo-ish deck. Alright. So we're pretty behind now. I think our odds at winning are like 10-ish%. Like, we need land, we need removal. So we need a little bit much. Alright, well, we found a land. The opponent's got Bolt, so if I play Goyf and intend on blocking Goyf, I kind of just die. I mean, Maul is going to be a rough one, too. I think I have to play Liliana and Edict. Like, they can put Maul on Tarmogoyf and hit us for a lot. But there's not much I can say about that right now. I guess I'll get second red in the form of Basic Mountain. So, like, this at least sets us up for second removal spell being very good. Whereas, like, if we play a Tarmogoyf or an Ooze or a Croxa here, and then we kill something, they can just still have a second threat. So I think I just want to empty the board as quickly as possible. Alright, so I'm going to assume kill Liliana. They could hit me and bolt Liliana. I guess they don't have red. They hit me. Okay. Archon. Oh, that's annoying. So that makes our Bloodbraid no longer Cascade. Kolaghan's command is interesting. I mean, I'm definitely going to plus. I might be able to sneak a Croaks into play next turn if I discard it now. Slip Spear, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So options here are definitely plussing. It's just, do I want to play Goyf or I guess an Ooze? They have got Bolt. Let's plus first. That can inform what we get to play. And I think I will just discard the Croxa. I don't think I'm going to have time to play it from my hands. I think I'm just going to try to sneak it into play next turn. And then if they discard Bolt, then maybe I can play Tarmogoyf and face off with their Goyf. But Maul is going to make that really difficult. Alright, there goes Bolt. So if I play Tarmogoyf here, they're going to go Maul, make this 7. They can attack with this 2. That's for 11. Put me to 2. On the following turn, I can Kolaghan's command down this, but then I still take 2 in the air. I mean, I don't really have a better play is the issue. Like, if I do nothing, they go Maul. I can still shatter the Maul, but that doesn't actually advance the board at all. I mean, I think I do just want to play the Goyf. They do have to be, like, kind of a little afraid of, like, a Bolt or something, right? Because, like, if they don't just attack Liliana with both, then there's a chance that Liliana can get cashed in. Ooze. Ooze is really annoying. I mean, if we block Goyf, and then, oh, there goes Croxa. Yeah, that's also pretty bad. And then they eat something. Both Goyfs die, which we're kind of okay with, to be honest. There goes Lily. Yep. This is not going well. Push. And a path. Holy moly. Alright, well, they kind of just drew the nuts, which is probably pretty fair after what they did last game, which was nothing. I guess I got green. I've got Ooze. Drew Raging Ravine, sure. So I can play Ooze now, and like it's a chump blocker. This is 6, 7, 8, 11. I'm at 11. So if I play Ooze, they just jump something. Ooze is chumping. I don't really think I can come back from that, but it's the only play that I have. What happens to all the removal? I don't know. I just haven't found it. I kept, there was a, I saw like my starting hand at 7 was Liliana, 3 creatures, 3 lands, and I shipped it digging for removal. But I don't think I'm gonna go to a 5 card hand when my 6 card hand is serviceable. So I mean, I did evaluate that I can mulligan pretty aggressively, or could afford to mulligan pretty aggressively. It just didn't pan out even after the fact. Alright, dead, dead, dead. Bloodbraid can't even hit anything because Archon. No, yeah, we just didn't have removal that game. Alright, on the play though, Bob, the thing is, like, on the play, a lot of our cards get a lot better. Ren and 6 and Bob both get, like, exponentially better on the play. It's possible I should bring in Brutality over K-Command. They do the same amount of, like, damage, but I mean, I guess they're playing Stoneforge and this can shatter. Gaining life, though, could be nice. I just realized, I think I took out an Inquisition instead of the Thoughtseize by accident. I definitely meant to have the 4 Inquisitions. So that's my bad. But what else? This is probably just fine. I mean, maybe since we know about Stoneforge and we're on the play, Kolaghan's Command just gets enough better that I should bring it in. And then what should I take out? Maybe it's just like a Bloodbraid. I think I want to keep all of my removal before I keep all of my creatures, and plus they've played Archon 2 games, so Bloodbraid gets a little bit worse if they're playing multiple. His opponent of X ones. They are playing Noble Hierarch and Dryad Arbor at least. Yeah, the sand's perfectly acceptable. We could get turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Tarmogoyf, have some powerful follow-ups. If the opponent mulligans, this is going to be brutal for them. They mulliganed. Alright, so if I swamp on 1, I can't lead on Inquisition, but I think I'd rather just save the life where possible. I've got great plays that aren't... Sorry, I meant to say I can't turn to Inquisition. I can't turn to Ren and 6 off of a swamp, but it's whatever. Ah, yes, the combo of Tarmogoyf and Rest in Peace. I mean, Rest in Peace does effectively answer my Tarmogoyf and my Kroxa, which is pretty annoying. Path does something similar. I think I'm going to take the Tarmogoyf first, and I'll probably end up taking Rest in Peace second. I just don't have good answers to these right now. Like, this Rest in Peace definitely messes me up, but I mean, Goyf and Scavenging Ooze, it messes them up a good amount too, which is kind of funny. Oh wow, another Inquisition. Alright, well, let's just lead here first, see what the new pickup is. Hopefully it's not a Veil of Summer. It's not. It's a Stoneforge. Alright, well, I think I'm taking probably Stoneforge and Rest in Peace here. I don't really care too much about this path. I've got backup threats. Yeah, so let's take the rip. And I guess if I don't use green next turn, it technically saves some life getting this in now. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm just going to do this. And then this will take Stoneforge. Go. If we draw Liliana here, I don't think we'll be able to lose. There's 4 of those. Interesting they're getting basics. I wonder if they're gonna try to Blood Moon me. I guess that answers that. Liliana. That's good too. I mean, it can grow to, I guess, a decent size. I don't want to play the Kroxa until after the Ooze has left. So I'll play a Tarmogoyf here. And then if they'll path it, that's fine. Sure. So this is 4 or 5 now. They have no green. I guess next turn I can just Plague Engineer name Human. It seems good. They're pathing me? Sure. Maybe they should have just done this before so they could attack me for 3. I mean, they are kind of a aggro-y burn deck, so... Or I'll get Mountain here because Mountain escapes Kroxa at some point. Oh, another Plague Engineer. That's fine. Alright, still gonna name Human. I guess, is there any consideration to naming Druid? I don't think so. Human. Zap. Go. And then no matter how much they eat, I'm definitely gonna just block it and get the trade. Sure. Sure, hit me for 3. Alright, then as soon as we can kill this, the opponent will be on 1 card in hand with 2 lands. That'll feel pretty good. Alright, I'm not going to play the Kroxa quite yet. I guess we can name Ooze with this one for no particular reason. I guess I should be naming Human for like Noble Hierarchs for Exalted stuff. Ravine's a good find. If for some reason our Kroxa never lifts off the ground, we'll have the Ravine to hopefully win. Alright, trade. I want my Kroxa to be good. Ghost Quarter for Ravine's annoying. Oh crap, another Ooze. That's really annoying. Well, I guess I'll just activate Ravine. I know they've got Ghost Quarter, but we drew second Ravine, which is kind of funny. And this also just like takes them off of mana, which they don't have a lot of. I guess if I find Ooze, I'll want more green. I've already got all the mana I need to escape Kroxa. Alright, so as long as we don't die to a Scavenging Ooze, we'll be good. Sure. Alright, land's a good find for us, for them. Come on, removal. Bob's good too. Something to note is, had I gotten not Forest, could I have actually just escaped Kroxa here? They don't have any green up, which is kind of funny. I think I just want to lead on Peatland. See if I can find like a Liliana or something. Because like, the Bob isn't like a ridiculously strong player right now. But I am going to play it. It'd be really depressing if I lose to just this one Ooze. Sure. That'll make my Lilianas worse at a minimum. I mean, maybe I shouldn't block just to give me more outs. So this attacks for, I guess, if they eat one thing, it's 5 and 5, so fetching doesn't actually change the clock, right? I'll get more green for Ooze. I've got lots of red already. Cool. Alright, so we have to do that now while the opponent doesn't have any more green, but this was the last possible turn where a bolt would have been good. Alright, so next turn, hopefully we get Kroxa in, and that should be good enough. Yeah. Alright, well, our Kroxa's going to outsize that. Do we have any unique types? Oh, Bloodbraid's great. I definitely want to cast Kroxa so I can escape it this turn. Forest does not escape it, so I can't have like 6 lands to escape it. I still think I want to do it now. And then maybe we can Bloodbraid as a follow-up. So the opponent has enchantment, creature, instant, land. I'm adding sorcery. Is that right? Yeah, I'm adding sorcery. So let's take out sorcery. I guess it's just those 3. I've got red and 6 in the deck now, so I'll keep the 2 good lands. And I guess I don't need to buy back both Plague Engineers. Definitely not buying back Bob. Let's get rid of that. I guess the other consideration is maybe I want to exile just all of my creatures so future Oozes can't be huge. An attack. Okay. Yeah, it attacks as a 5/6 because I did remove sorcery. Voice of Resurgence. Well, that one's really strong against me in general. Oh, wow. Okay, so... I mean, I think I'm just gonna Bloodbraid first. See what we can hit. So this will trigger whenever we cast something on the opponent's turn, so we're gonna make sure to main phase this. We'll do this first, though. Ren 6. That's fine. That kills Noble Hierarch, which isn't nothing because that does shrink Voice of Resurgence and make Tarmogoyf attack without Exalted. So we'll zap that. And then, do I have an attack here? I think given that we've got Abrupt Decay, we do have an attack. And I can attack first, and then if they go for a double block, I can hit the Goyf and then kill both their things. I guess if I kill this first, I can attack both. When it dies, they get the thing as well. I think I'm just going to attack with Crow because it's such a heavy hitter that maybe they're almost forced to double. I mean, maybe they won't because they know it'll just come back. But I think having a blocker back is probably pretty safe. And like this also just has the upside of if they go for the double block, which they aren't, sure. And then Veil of Summer is in theory something they could have. So I'm just going to kill this now. Stoneforge is probably one of their better draws. Maybe they can get like a sword of some kind. Although Croaks is going to make them discard it on attack, so that doesn't seem to matter a whole lot. Alright, Blackleaf Cliffs is not a good draw. I mean, I guess I'm just animating Ravine and jamming. If I animate Ravine and jam, they're forced to block both, which seems good. Block with both, I mean, not block. We got 3 things. Sick. 1-0. We got there round 1. It was pretty scary though. The opponent like had a Scavenging Ooze that like was messing with us pretty hard. We had a Croaksa just in our hand that we couldn't really cast. And we finally found the way to kill the Ooze. So then we played Croaksa and Croaksa got there. No one wants to play. There we go. Yep, sounds fine. The opponent is mulligans. Ooh, okay, well this will be an interesting one. Basic mountain. I think I'm going to play a fetch here. If the opponent doesn't play a creature, I'm going to wish I had played a fetch. I mean, that said, they're probably going to play a creature. But I mean, I don't want to get basic forest because of Kroxa, and my turn 2 play a Scavenging Ooze. So that said, if I'm playing Ooze next turn and Black leaves now, I'm more than likely going to have to fetch shock anyway. So if I don't push now and Ooze on 2, it'll save me 2 life if I don't play the fetch next turn. This looks like a Kolaghan's Command matchup. Alright, so we've effectively saved some life here. Alright, I'll get Overgrown Tomb, because then we'll have Blackleaf Cliffs and Mountain. We can save the Mire for a Revolt if we need it. Say no. And I'm going to try to get as many green sources as possible because of Ooze. Another land, not great. Alright, well, let's just play the Ooze. Could play the Kroxa, but I mean, Ooze is going to stick around faster. We're not really that close to escaping, so I like getting the thing that'll actually attack down. Next turn we could always push and Kroxa. The Skite. Yep, well, we've got to push. No land. Okay, that's got to be good for us. And the Bolt. Also pretty good for us. So, I mean, I should probably just lead on push and see what goes wrong. I guess I'll leave green available in case I want to eat something. Like, we've got Mountain for a Bolt, and I don't think we're bolting here. Probably just end up playing Kroxa. Alright, and they don't have access to mana. I think I'm just going to Kroxa now. Just using my mana pretty efficiently. Obviously, I don't want to hold up Bolt when I've got other stuff to do. Like, Bloodbraid's a pretty great next turn play. There goes an Emery. Okay, so something sweet happening over there. I guess Emery does look a lot worse in the face of an Ooze. Hangerback. Hangerback is going to be problematic. I mean, I could just bolt it now to get it out of the way. Their Thopter is going to get an Ozolith counter, which will be annoying. I mean, I guess I should just lead on Thoughtseize, right? It's not getting much better than now. Also, I want to put cards in my yard to feed this Kroxa. So let's lead here. It's not going to get much better past this turn. Oh, wow. Alright, so they've got Arcbound and Hangerback. All of which are pretty scary with the Ozolith. I think I'm taking Hangerback because, like, that's the thing that would make me need to kill the most stuff. Like, maybe I can just bolt the Arcbound. They'd have to sack a lot of stuff to it. But, I mean, they could. Alright, and I guess I should lead on attack if I'm attacking, which I am. Don't think they're blocking, but you never know. Alright, I'm not using all of this mana, so let's do an extra damage by eating Emery. Alright, and I do think I want to kill this before the opponent untaps because I don't want them just activating it. So we'll get a counter on Ozolith. And then I guess I'm going to just play this. Yeah. Because I'm going to want to get more green mana relatively painlessly, and Blood Crypt is not green. Also, this fetch means we're going to be escaping Kroxa soon. Alright, we knew about that one. They've got one mystery. Ozolith is definitely pretty scary when they've got all this kinds of stuff going on. Should we start doing Ozolith math? Alright, so that's good for us. So this is pay 1, sack a thing, gain a life. Yeah. Alright, so this is going to, I guess they can put the counters on the Thopter, and then... So this will have 2 counters on it. When this dies, it'll have 4. I'll get hit for 4. Then they're going to put 2 on it, hit for 6. So over 2 turns, I'm getting hit for 10. So if they brick, they're killing me in 3 turns, which is enough for Kroxa to get there. I guess this will get Stomping Ground. Oh, they're putting it on Arcbound. Sure. Do they get another counter this way? I haven't done the math, but it probably, right? It's pretty smart. Alright, so I'm assuming I'm getting hit here. So this is going to be attacking for 7, which is dead in 2 hits anyway. So the question is, do I want to fetch, shock, eat a thing here, go up to, I guess, 12? I think I do. Like, the extra damage could definitely matter. And, like, this doesn't change their clock at all unless they draw something I'm not thinking about. Eat a hanger back. Alright, well, maybe I should just start chaining Bloodbraids, but I think Kroxa just hits harder. So if I Kroxa, the opponent goes to 12, I attack them down to 8, which means that they have to hold whatever they draw or they're just dead. Yeah, I mean, it's probably best to just play the Kroxa. Kroxa is going to be such a heavy hitter. I could even... maybe I want to shock first, so I have a green available for Ooze. That would have me at 11. This is attacking for 7, right? So that would put me to 4. Am I dead to anything from 4? I don't think so. But that would let me hit them for 5, putting them to 10. This enters, puts them to 7. And then when we eat 2 creatures, so yeah, it actually does change the clock, because even if they hold their thing and discard it, we can eat 2 more things on the opponent's turn, and it is actually lethal. So I think I should shock here, eat, and then escape Kroxa the other way. Yeah, so let's say yes. We'll just escape Kroxa, making sure to leave up a green. Oops. Black. So this should just be good. Come on. There we go. Alright, eat a thing. So now they're dead on board without even playing Bloodbraid. Inkmoth. That's scary, right? They can activate Inkmoth, put the counters on Inkmoth. It can't attack yet. I mean, if they attack, they're dead. I mean, they are still just dead. They don't know about the Bloodbraid. So I guess they're not just dead. So if I play Bloodbraid, Cascade, we attack all. They take 4 just off of an attack. They must block these 2, but this gets to eat something, this gets to chump. I mean, I don't have a much better play other than slam a Bloodbraid and see what happens. So let's slam a Bloodbraid and see what happens. There are plenty of hits that will have us just winning on the spot. They weren't dead though, right? Like if we brick, they can just activate Ink Moth, eat Croxa, put this in front of this, take 3, 3 off of this, go to 1, and then maybe they can put together an Ink Moth kill, but I guess not. Alright, they're not really gaining life, doesn't seem like Ferocidon. Alright, so let's bring in Plague Engineer for obvious reasons. Yeah, they have to... Well, they don't give up all their creatures. They get to keep the 7/7. The 7/7 blocks Croxa just fine. I do actually think I want the Wildfires. They play like Inkmoth and stuff, which I'm kind of scared of. And they also have a few other utility lands. The thing is, I don't know if I want Brutality. Brutality seems a little weak. It's completely possible I actually want Ferocidon, because after killing a whatchamacallit, a Hangerback, the Ferocidon can clean up all of the 1/1s. And like if they burst into a bunch of 1/1s, this is a way to punish that as well. Could be interesting. I think on the draw I'm gonna shave a Bob. Still really good for finding a lot of removal though. We're on the draw. Let's take out Thoughtseizes. Need 3 more cuts. Liliana honestly is gonna look really, really weak. In fact, maybe I just want other Dark Confidant before I want this Liliana. This Liliana just does not seem like it's going to be good. Like, if they have 1 creature in play, then great, but how often is that going to happen? Yeah, let's bring in the Bob over it. I could see an argument for Huntmaster as well, but I think the argument's stronger when I'm on the play. Like, a lot of their stuff just outsizes this very easily or just goes over it. I didn't see any ridiculous graveyard stuff, so I don't think I'm spellbombing. Let's just do this. Yeah, it sounds good. The mana base is looking a little painful. Module. Alright, so let me remind myself real fast. Bob's a good pickup. Whenever 1 or more counters are put onto a permanent, you may pay 1 if you do make a servo. Pay 3, tap it. Proliferate 1 thing. So if I shock this, I can hold up both. I mean, I probably just should. And I think I'm going to shock Blood Crypt as opposed to Stomping Ground, because if I draw a push, I can painlessly do that on following turns. Although maybe it should be Stomping Ground, because then it's easiest to play red and 6 next turn. You think that it's removal light? I don't know about that. You want to graft it? I mean, I shocked here, so they probably just like shouldn't graft. I'm not going to bolt. I've got red and 6 to take care of that. Let's just do that now. And then I'm probably going to want to decay this module at some point. Alright, so they can make another 1/1. Yep. You want to graft it this time? They should probably graft it so I can't just kill it, right? They still haven't grafted? Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to kill module. And again, they could be playing Veil of Summer. So I think I should just main phase it. And then get this thing down tapped. Not going to shock here. Third Llanowar Reborn. Hardened Scales. Holy crap. So first thing they play is going to be pretty big. Oh god. That's going to be an 8/8 Hangerback? I don't think I'm beating that, to be honest. I mean, I don't think blocking it forever is a very good plan. Yeah, we're playing Plague Engineer, but we don't actually have one yet, and we have to find a way to kill this Hangerback first. I guess I want to chump block with the Scavenging Ooze first. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, I can ping the Spellskite and bolt the Spellskite to get that out of the way. And then I still need to find a way to kill the Hangerback and all of the Thopters, though. Alright, what am I jumping with next? Who wants to go into the bus next? I mean, I definitely think I have to kill the Spellskite now. I guess Goyf is next. Obviously, I have to do this now because Planeswalkers are sorcery speed. Damn it. Holy crap. Alright, well that makes a lot of 1/1s. So I guess I need to find Plague Engineer like now, right? Yeah, I mean, the moment they played this Hangerbacker and it was immediately an 8/8, I knew I was dead. But I mean, I could play, right? Alright, so I need second green. I guess third black is probably fine. Tomb. Little late on that. I mean, I guess Bloodbraid blocks and like maybe hits removal, but even though I hit removal, Spellskite just gonna redirect. There's the push. I mean, like I can hit this, but they'll just sack it anyway, so I might as well also just kill the Spellskite. I guess I can Inquisition them, get some info. Gem Razor, I guess that's some info. So, mutate when it enters disenchant, and it's a 4/4 with reach and trample. What's up, James? Thanks for the resub. This isn't that late. This is, for me, it's only, what is it? 6:25 in the afternoon. Not that late at all. Alright, so Gem Razor, that's a card. Is it possible I want Thought Seizes while I'm on the play? It's possible. Don't know what I would bring in for him, though. Or, sorry, take out. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep it as is. Everything here is looking pretty good. I guess with the exception of Croaks, it looks like it might be a little on the weak side. But I think it's hard. Yeah, run it back. Never online when you're awake. Yeah. I've been streaming like kind of more towards the daytime. Or my daytime. Oh. This is probably a keep. Inquisition on 1 is probably our best start. Kolaghan's Command might be our best card in the matchup. I guess I'll Blood Crypt on 1. Sounds pretty close, but I don't think I can ship it ever. So they've got Scales, they've got Ozolith, they've got Hangerback and Arcbound. I think I'm taking Scales. K-Command can deal with Ozolith, but it can't deal with Scales. I mean, maybe that's a mistake because I just like actually don't have green right now, right? Alright, so there's Ozolith. They played Inkmoth. Goyf was one of our better draws. And then I think I'm just going to get basic Forest to conserve life. Forest doesn't escape Kroxa, but the threat aspect of the game is not something I think we're lacking on right now. So if they go like land Hangerback, I can go Shock, kill Ozolith. You thought Ravager or Hardened Scales is the thing that turns their deck onto turbo mode. I think I can beat their deck when it's not on turbo mode. Like I've got Kolaghan's Command to deal with their first two things. Alright, and I think I'll just do it now. There's no way they block, right? I mean, if they block, I get to kill Thopter too. So maybe just attacking first is correct. Although if I shock it first, I guess if they don't block, I should then probably Kolaghan's Command in response, right? Because then I'm hitting for an additional 2. Alright, so now that they haven't blocked, I'll 2-for-1 them. Destroy an artifact, 2 to a target. Destroy an artifact. That one, 2 to a target. That one. Klonkia. 6. Island Ozolith again. Well, they've got Arcbound, so we could be in a hairy situation. They drew another Hangerback. Oof. That's going to be problematic. Goyf. Am I just dead next turn to Inkmoth for any reason? If they go land... I guess it doesn't really matter because I don't have anything to bluff. If they go like land, activate this, play this, sack this, that's 3 counters, sack this, that's 4 counters, sack it to itself, put 4 counters on Inkmoth, this puts counters, that's 9. We're 1 off of dead. Yeah, I think I should probably still just Bloodbraid, try to hit like a Plague Engineer or something. And Bloodbraid also attacks, which is good. Alright, come on, Plague Man. Well, we hit the Goyf anyway. So as long as the opponent doesn't have land and 0 mana artifact, I don't think we're dying to Inkmoth, which means they probably just don't go for that line at all, because that has them tapping out versus this. And this is quite a clock. Goyf is like, if I'm not going to hit removal, I'm probably pretty happy I hit Goyf. They're just going to 5. Jeez. Alright, well, they're in must-block Tarmogoyf territory. And as I'm assuming my math is correct and I'm not just dead, I think I'm taking 9 Infect. If they have 0 mana artifact and land with the Arcbound we know about, I think they can get there. Right? Because like they play Arcbound off of 2 lands, sack Thopter to it, sack Hanger. They have 0 mana artifact? Are you kidding? Do they have land too? I mean, I said that's what killed us, right? I'm pretty sure land kills us. Yeah, so it's Arcbound, sack this, sack this, sack this. That's 3 counters. Sack this, that's 4. Sack it, put it onto Inkmoth. Alright, and Crypt can hit, I guess, me, which leaves him with Artifact, Creature, Enchantment. So Glyphs become 3 power. I guess I can add land after the fact, making them 4. mean, I think we're dying. I'm gonna have to find like a push or a bolt to respond to whatever they try to do. But even then, these flyers are gonna be annoying to get through. Probably just arc bound them, yep. So yeah, I mean, we die to Inkmoth if we go shields down. Need like a bolt or a push or a K command. And that gets a Thopter out of the way. So again, these are 6/7, but if they pop a crypt targeting us, that takes away instant land and sorcery. Puts it at just 3 types. The thing is though, right, if we do that, if we attack all, sacrifice the land, make them 4 or 5s, they probably like sack a thing to Arcbound. We can run in 6 ping Arcbound, but then they just sack another thing. So that doesn't really seem like it works. I might be on sack Peatland and like Hail Mary it. Because I can't threaten putting another type. I guess like I could maybe sack this first, find a sorcery, but then Crypt still messes me up. I mean, I think I just have to jam all and then hope I'm not dead, or they don't just like go for it, which I imagine they just go for it. Yeah, Crypt is kind of messing me up here. Because it means they don't actually have to block all the Glace if they don't want to. But, I mean, that's not really even that important at the moment. I think we're just dead. Hey, what's up? Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Alright, so they're doing the play that we kind of suspected was going to happen. Is there any reason to pop this now that it doesn't matter that Glyphs aren't dying? Probably, because like if we find Kolagon's command, maybe we can save something somehow. Like, this is getting popped no matter what, so let's just do it now, I guess. And I should tap Swamp for it, so I can still play Red Insects and like cast a spell, right? Damn. Yeah, so assuming they go for it, which they kind of just have to. I guess one reason why they wouldn't go for it is if I don't give them a reason to need to go for it, which is if I don't have lethal. I mean, they've got Crypt. If I play Red and 6, they're more inclined to just go for it. Yeah, they'll just sack this, put it on Thopter, activate this, and they'll have just 2 huge threats. I guess if I play Red and 6, I can still bluff the removal. They can't put it on Thopter. So now they have to be actually scared, but I mean, it's not looking good. They've drawn fairly well, unfortunately. I mean, we've used no bolts or pushes, so in their mind, it's not completely unlikely we have one, especially because there hasn't actually been a good spot to use it yet, if we had it. They're sacking the Arcbound. I mean, I guess they still have a sack outlet in this core here. Drum, yeah. I mean, they tapped Inkmoth, so we're not just dead. Oh, that's problematic, too. Everything is problematic. We're 1 off of dead, huh? Hit us for 7, shoot us for 7. Yeah, I mean their deck is very synergy driven. They're not attacking. I mean, I guess they figure they can just kill us anyway next turn. Jeez. Alright, well, lands are not what we need. These are 7/8, but they're what? So they'll have artifact, creature, enchantment. Yeah, there's not even an attack. And I'm gonna shock this to bluff. It doesn't actually change the math here. Because, like, shocking here could mean Kolagon's command, right? Yeah, when they pop Crypt, they're 3/4s. It's pretty tiny. Their draw's been pretty good. Ours has not been great. Sack an artifact, proliferate. Jeez. I mean, they're not attacking you with Inkmoth again. Yeah, this is only if it leaves the battlefield. So this only ever gets one counter from Ballista, right? Because when it dies, it will have your only one counter. I guess no, it doesn't get any counters from Ozolith, right? Because, like, doesn't it die as a 0/0, and when it's a 0/0, there are no counters? I'm not actually sure. I don't know if it gets 1 or 0, but I think it might be 0. They sacked the Crypt? I mean, I guess we do just die now then, right? They smack us, shoot us. It's funny, because, you know, I shocked. That shock killed me. Proliferate was the one. I think Proliferate was the one way that shocking killed me. Brutal. I mean, we still can't kill them, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think that matchup's typically pretty good. We just kind of flooded at the end, and they drew gas, so it'd be like that. I think it was, what, 3 lands in a row? And they hit gas, gas, gas.
Here, stick the card.
We are 1-1, Smarabito. This sounds great. Oh, well, spelling is hard, but I think the opponent will know what I meant. Oh. Mirror? Mirror. Well, we've got our 2 copies of Ren and 6, which is pretty fortunate. And I do think I'll lead on the Ren and 6. I think Bob is probably the better turn 2 play if they don't have their own Ren and 6, but we don't know that they don't. No, yeah, Collector Roof is pretty narrow. The meta's got to be some type of way for Oof to be good. They took our push. That's interesting. Alright, let's get Overgrown Tomb. I want to max on green for Ooze. I guess maybe I should get Stomping Ground then, because then I can get Overgrown Tomb and that's more green for Ooze. Thoughtseize is a nice one, but I still think I should cast Ren and 6. Obviously, wish I had that last turn. I mean, I'm slightly afraid of, like, a Tarmogoyf coming down and me being not able to kill it, which, I mean, they did take push. The thing is, like, if I Thoughtseize and they've got more than one threat, it's so bad for me. Alright, there's the Goyf. Come on, Liliana. Boom. I mean, that's a good one, too. I can Scavenging Ooze to contest the size of the Tarmogoyf, but that's the best I can do right now. And I think now I will play the Dark Confidant as opposed to the Scavenging Ooze. I want to find answers to this Goyf. I guess I want to Thoughtseize too, though, right? Thoughtseize can inform the decision. Alright, and it is in fact John Demir. They've got no red mana. They do have a Fatal Push, though, and they do have a Renin 6. This is going to be rough, because, like, Bloodbraid I do really want to take, and they're likely to get red before this game ends. Push kills my thing, though, and that's, like, the actual one card they can cast. I think I'm going to take Push and try to get a little lucky. Yeah. It's pretty close. I think it's that or Bloodbraid. And then I can play something here. And I guess I will just play the Scavenging Ooze. Because in the event they do draw the red source exactly now, I don't want them pinging the Dark Confidant. Alright, and if they attack, am I blocking? I don't think so. I think I just let this happen, especially because I have backup red and 6. Going at me. Going at me. I wish they'd just go at I wish they would just go at the ooze. I'm still not blocking. I'll just take the 3. Alright, they do have the red. So I guess they get to go red and 6 now. Buy back the foothills. Yep. We don't have any green for the ooze right now, unfortunately. Alright, so we get to minus the red and 6 on the opponent's red and 6, and then attack it down with whatever it is we want to attack it down with. So, I mean, that much is good. Is that really what I'm interested in doing? Probably. I guess I'll just get green here. Green doesn't escape Croxa, and we only have 1 red, but that's probably just fine. We've got ooze in play. So, green, Bloodbraid. And then if we can hit, like, a Liliana or something, that would be the absolute nuts. Lightning Bolt. I mean, Bolt kills the Ren and 6 as well. And then neither one of these are blocking, so I guess I'm attacking. The opponent can shock, play Bloodbraid of their own. If they hit Bolt or Kolaghan's Command, we just die. So that's concerning. But I mean, I'm not blocking with either of these. So I think I'm just going to hope no whammies. Yeah, because, like, the opponent has to at least be a little concerned that we can kill them. Especially if they plan on shocking. Here's the braid. Alright, so we want to hope to avoid Kolaghan's Command and Bolt. Glyph's pretty bad, too. We were hoping for, like, an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize or something irrelevant. Ooh. How close is that? I only have 1 red. Alright, my mana situation might be coming back to bite me. I mean, I guess had I gotten red, they'd have been dead, right? Ping them, bolt them, eat one thing. I mean, eating stuff is still an option. In fact, what happens if I just attack both? If I attack both, I can go eat. I guess there are no actual creatures. So what if I go eat planeswalker? Can I even take 2 types out? No, right? There's sorcery. There's 2 sorceries and an instant. Yep, my mana's biting me. I need to kill Bloodbraid, and then I can eat it. I'm not like missing lethal here, right? I can eat 2 things. I can eat 3 things, make Goyf 1/2, but then I can't bolt. I don't think I'm missing lethal. Can I run in 6 back a land and do it in some way? I can only get basic swamp though. It doesn't actually give me more red. I think I have to kill Bloodbraid and plan on eating it, and then maybe outsides the Goyfs. I mean, I have to win a race somehow. Let's just go upstairs with this. Should I play Dark Confidant just as a blocker? I honestly think I do. It at least turns off their attacks. It means I don't have to lose all my stuff. Alright, let's tap as little green as possible, right? I guess if I tap here, bolt a thing, I can still eat a thing. It's gonna be a nail biter. I mean, this Pyromancer is gonna make it really hard if they can find a red source. But if they can't find a red source and put a bunch of blockers in play, it's possible I've got an attack. Do they still have Ren in 6? No, that's this copy right here. So the only thing we know about is the Seasoned Pyromancer. And the fact that they can't currently cast it. I mean, more Bloodbraids would obviously be, like, the worst possible. We also know of a Wooded Foothills in hand, so that we know that too. They bought a Wooded Foothills back at the Ren in 6. So it's Wooded Foothills, Pyromancer, 2 others. So they can cast Pyromancer, but given the fact they've got Mountain, they've got to fetch Shock to do it. I mean, if they fetch Shock down to 4, and I can stay alive, I can ping them and bolt them and they're dead. So maybe Pyromancer isn't even a thing they're willing to play right now. You slow rolling the Bloodbraid? That'd be brutal. It was an interesting game. Yeah, the 3 red cards were Ren in 6, Pyromancer, Bloodbraid, and I had taken the push. Pulse my Scavenging Ooze. Alright, how does this look? So I have to block, bolt, but then everything is dead. I have to like draw Bloodbraid into a bolt. If I eat 2 things on the way out, it doesn't matter, right? I think what I have to do here is still just bolt the Bloodbraid and then eat it. Go up to 3. I have to go block, block. And then I need to draw bolt Bloodbraid into bolt and then like ping for the last point. I think that's my only out. Because if this dies, they attack all. I'm just dead. Block, block. Alright, we need Bloodbraid into bolt. Bloodbraid off the top. Bam. Nope. Yeah, we're just dead. Jundmir. Huntmaster of the Fells. Plague Engineer. Nile Spellbomb. 6 discard spells. Pretty clean cut. Submit. Let's go first. Yeah, sounds fine. I'll go stomping around on 1. We don't have any of our powerful planeswalkers, which I guess is the biggest deficit here. But I mean, Kroxa, K-Command, Bloodbraid, probably 3 of our better cards. The opponent has mulligans too, which is a help. Engineers is something to do on turn 3 in the absence of something better. Alright, so let's cast Kroxa. What's different about this build? I am playing 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze instead of 2 copies of Seasoned Pyromancer. And I am playing 2 Ren and 6s instead of a Pulse and a... something else. If you type exclamation deck, you'll get the deck list. There was always a second command. They're not Ren and 6ing here. Ooh, that's a good one. Assuming we find a land. I mean, I think I am just going to play Engineer. If they want to, like, bolt this, I'm happy they're bolting this and not one of my other things. And then I'll name Elemental for Seasoned Pyromancer stuff. Then again, if they're bolting this, I'm pretty happy. Then if they, like, Liliana minus this, I can Kolaghan's Command finish Liliana. Come on, land. Land, land, land. That's good, too. Just lead on attack. Yeah, I trimmed a Bob, thank you. For the 2 Rens. So this was a pretty significant miss, unfortunately. Kolaghan's Command, buy back Pyromancer. Alright, well, playing this first doesn't really matter because they had just done that in response. So, I mean, they're probably going to Pyromancer, in which case I'm going to want to Kolaghan's Command. Kill their Pyromancer maybe, buy this back, and then do it again. So... But, I mean, Kolaghan's Command might be better used for buying back either Bloodbraid or Huntmaster. Yeah, I think I'm going to Spell Bomb. And then I'll probably just cycle the Spell Bomb end of turn no matter what, because I really do want to hit a land for one of these creatures. Is it Bloodbraid time? Ashiok. Yikes. Well, that's going to make fetching a lot harder. Hit another Croxa. Alright, well, I'm still going to pop the Spell Bomb. Trying to find that land that isn't a fetch. No, I mean, that's a good one, too. Come on, deck. Boom. Liliana's fine. Oh, we don't have double black, never mind. Liliana's bad. Guess I am casting this, then. They didn't have a bolt. Ah, yes. That's bad. I mean, Kolaghan's Command can finish it, at least. Didn't even activate Ashiok. Oof, that was good. Alright, and they didn't bolt it either. I mean, they might have been holding bolt. Because they knew they have Liliana, and then like maybe they wanted to defend their Liliana versus like something hasty. I still think I just want to cast Kolaghan's Command here, though, because this is going to be the only time we can get a Ashiok back. And, like, Kolaghan's Command still kills Liliana now anyway. And I guess they could play Veil, but, I mean, it's unlikely. Let's just buy this back, kill Liliana. Buy this back, kill that. Like, again, Huntmaster would be good here. Sorry, Bloodbraid would be good here. But if they've got Bolt, it gets us so far behind, and then like Liliana gets to stick around. We don't have another good way to get it down without just K commanding anyway. To be honest, I'm probably just gonna re-ditch the Bob. I'm going to need the push to deal with the Croxa. Liliana is just kind of innately powerful here. Well, we're finding the the lands, right? So I'll play the Swamp. We can Liliana now, but I think I want to have it come down as an Edict. I think I'm going to just start on the Bloodbraid, try to get this Ashiok down. The thing is, if they've got a Bolt, it's much worse. I mean, the read is no Bolt unless they were, like, really next leveling it. Let's just do it. And, see what we hit. Obviously, the other consideration is Huntmaster. Ooh, we hit Kolaghan's Command. Alright, well, we get to buy Bob back again. Return Bob to a target. Maybe we just get to kill this Ashiok. Like, killing Ashiok does have some real value, too, right? Because, like... Oh, they've got it. Yeah, they can target themselves with the Ashiok and then escape the Croxa. We've got the Bolt for it, luckily. This Bob's gonna get sick of hitting my graveyard so many times. I guess, like, 2 of our Croxas are gone, so our graveyard isn't as ridiculously important. Yep, that's unfortunate. We knew about that one from a while ago. Dreadbore, okay. So I could push Elemental and then Liliana Edict the Pyromancer, but I really want to be getting this Huntmaster down, I think. Alright, well, Fetch doesn't do anything in the face of Ashiok. So this looks like a Huntmaster turn. We are 1-1 and down a game. Maybe I should actually play this land. I'm discarding the Bob to the Kroxa. That's given. But, like, I might actually want to play the Fetch just to enable Revolt, even though I won't get a land. What did you play in the prelim? Was it just red green again? Yep. Bogles and Shadow. That's not good for you. Kroxa time. Alright, like I said, I'll discard the Bob. You know, maybe that's wrong, though. Like, these creatures and Pyromancer maybe coming back means that the Edicts really aren't going to be worth a lot. So maybe I actually want to ditch the Liliana and just, like, play the Bob. I think I'm going to ditch Liliana. And then if my Huntmaster somehow lives, I'm just going to pass, right? Because if I pass, Huntmaster will flip. We can kill Pyromancer, kill Ashiok, and then we can just upkeep. We can just kill it some other time. I mean, I guess I could push this all the same just now anyway. And if they attack, I do block with Wolf, right? Alright, so I guess timing on this push, they cast spells, so I mean, I guess doing it now is just as good as doing it later. Yeah. The issue is, like, they can minus Ashiok and, like, probably recast it, which is unfortunate. Alright, kill this. That worked. Land, no good. Alright, well, I guess I just pass. Is it worth attacking with a wolf? I guess so, right? Maybe not, because then they can just target themselves and then exile Pyromancer. I mean, the odds they've got a spell are not super low. Let's play it safe. Alright, maybe flip. Hey, we flipped. Alright, kill that. And, I mean, I guess I just kill the Pyromancer. They've got to have better things to do than pay a bunch of mana for a Pyromancer. Just, like, the upside is, like, of killing Elementals, it's one less card in the yard for Kroxa. Yeah, they just got another Ashiok. Ooh. That's problematic. Alright, well, I mean, they cast 2 spells. Huntmaster is flipping, and then I can flip it again. Oh, heyo. So if I pass, Huntmaster can shoot Kalidas, I can bolt Kalidas. I mean, that has to be the play, right? I'll keep land in hand for future Kroxas. Alright, that card's dead. Hey, we're kind of in the top deck war. They've got Pyromancer in their yard. I mean, they don't have removal for Ravager. That makes me think they're not going to have removal for the Bob either. So maybe Bob can run away with it. Liliana. Well, that doesn't look great in the face of a Huntmaster that's flipping back and forth. Kept the land, so that's good. Come on, deck. Ooze. Ooze is fine. It's going to flip my Huntmaster, too. Now that I've got 2 spells. Can keep up 2 green, which is pretty nice. I can exile the Seasoned Pyromancer immediately. And I guess there's Kroxa too. Let's just get that out of here now. Avoid a Lightning Bolt. If they draw Kolaghan's Command, they can maybe get Kalitas back, which would suck. So maybe I should have waited. Maybe I got a little trigger happy. I mean, my board is great right now. Huntmaster has been flipping back and forth. I mean, short of Damnation, I think I'm gonna feel very good. Like if they brick here, Huntmaster's just flipping again. What is this? Angrath? Jeez, that was a draw. So this does a few things, right? If they take something that costs 3 or less, it just dies. Each opponent discards and loses 2. So I mean, it's kind of just an abrupt decay plus an attack me here, right? That was quite a draw. They should probably take Bob. Bob is gonna probably bury them if they don't take Bob. They took that? Okay. Is it worth blocking? I kind of just want to keep the wolves. Eat 2 random things on the way out, yeah. They ate their Kalitas. I guess they just want to gain 1? Thanks, Udok. In the push. Angrath is quite a draw. I mean, I could if I could always just pass if I draw instants and sack a creature. Wolf. Trigger. Those are good ones. I don't even care that I revealed it. Let's just cast it. Yeah. Wow. Angrath. That's a card. Garrick Apex Predator. Hell yeah. Yeah, the hunting was good. I am not excited about this hand, but I'm going to keep it because mulliganing is worse. That makes it better. Alright, so I guess if I want to Renin 6 on 2, I can't play basic Swamp, but I've got a good turn 2 play anyway, so I guess I'll just Swamp and do it. If they have Renin 6, they'll probably play it on 2 anyway. I mean, I still am pretty weak to Liliana. Yep. Ooh, Croxa's good. They've got the Spell Bomb. But I mean, Croxa's a much better play, assuming they would just kill my Dark Confidant anyway. I think I'm gonna Croxa. Again, they're gonna be able to nuke it, but it is what it is. Yeah, two Rens are in the deck. No, I'm not convinced they should be here yet, although they've looked good so far. But we've played against decks where like the opponent had just like incidentally had X1s. Like we played against Zoo, and we played against like some artifact hardened scales deck. Yeah, they didn't pop Spellbomb yet. Okay, maybe they just want to wait until like I actually have a stocked graveyard. Alright, so we don't want to see a Planeswalker here. Creatures are fine. We've got the thing that hits it. Yeah, it makes sense why they'd be good. They've just lined up very well. All right, so they had creature. Excellent. So now we get to play Bob and a push. Oh. I guess I just do that instead, right? It's weaker to Bloodbraid is the concern. But I mean, Liliana is probably strongest when used now, right? Because, like, if the opponent plays a Pyromancer at some point, Liliana just gets much worse. Yeah, I think it's Liliana time. They could have Veil, but I really doubt it, especially with Bloodbraid in the deck. Veil would suck, but I mean, I'm not playing around Veil. Yeah, and like I think Bob and Push would have been a good play too. But if they have a way to kill the Bob, then I think I'd much rather just like have had Planeswalker in play. And like without creatures, they may even end up just discarding their removal spells. They didn't play a threat on turn 2, so maybe Goyf was their fresh draw. So I mean they could still have Bloodbraid. Shock. Cycling this now. Oh, both. Okay, so yeah, we had the good read then. So pretty happy I didn't throw the Bob into that. And there's the Pyromancer, right? Alright, so yeah, I think Liliana was played at the best time it could have been. Yeah, Liliana definitely did well, James. What you got on top, deck? Alright, well, I'm probably just Bloodbraiding. They have 2 fresh cards. So it's entirely possible I should just be playing Dark Confidant here because it's not like they were like sandbagging a removal spell for this Dark Confidant, right? So I mean, if Bob is gonna live, the best possible, I guess, odds it does so is now or are now. But Bloodbraid is just so attractive, right? I think I'm Bloodbraiding. No, that can't be right. Let's play the Bob. And then I guess I am still just gonna play the Swamp because I want to hold up Push and the Spellbomb activation. I think Bob starting to get resources is gonna be great, assuming it gets to live. Oh, you drew Ren. Brutal. All right, that's obviously the downside. Ping. So maybe I just Fatal Push Pyromancer now that I've got Revolt. And then I can hit the Pyromancer with my Spell Bomb. And then Bloodbraid can kill Ren. If they don't have another creature as a follow-up, I'm not really disliking this, despite the fact that this Ren in 6 was so brutal. Please no Goyf or something stupid. Just pass. Just pass. Just pass. Thank you. Alright, Spellbomb you. Get rid of the Seasoned Pyromancer. pop goes the spell bomb. Alright, well, still definitely playing this Bloodbraid into the Ren. It's time to pop your spell bomb. Cling Croxa, sure. Well, it doesn't draw you a card, so that's fine. Why time it then? I get to kill your... I get your thing for free. Okay. Well, as long as I don't have Bolt, this Ren is dying. Yeah, I think opponent just realized their mistake. Alright, if they don't have another Bolt, we get to kill their Ren. We hit Kolagon's command. That's a good one. So, alternatively, I could just shoot the Ren and 6 with this, so that way if they have Bolt, their thing still dies. Do I want to, like, buy back a Bob, or do I want to have the opponent discard? I could just also shatter the spell bomb. I can't really buy back Bob because then they get to spell bomb me anyway. But I think I'm gonna kill this. They don't actually have the black mana right now, so we'll shatter and 2 to a Ren and 6. Actually, I guess I want to have the opponent discard, right? If they have Bolt, they get to keep the Ren and 6 though, and that's really bad. I think I'm gonna gamble they don't have exactly another Bolt. So we'll do 2 to a target, shatter an artifact. Or I guess you discard shatter an artifact. Destroy an artifact. Why can't I find the mode? There we go. Alright, so you will discard a card, shatter an artifact. I guess they can't even bolt it this way anyway, right? Because they'll have to discard the bolt. Yeah, that cling was awful the way they used it, right? Alright, sure, you'll hit Gobbledygook. Alright, what did we eat? I can't return because they had the spellbomb in play. They just spellbomb me. Alright, so now something to be concerned about is, I guess, Raging Ravine. Raging Ravine is going to be a hard hitter. Alright, hopefully we get into a top deck where I've got a Dark Confidant. That's something I'm confident in. Disgusting. Alright, land. Is there any consideration whatsoever to holding back Bloodbraid to double block with Bob? I don't think so. Let's jam. Dark Doof. Kolagon's command. That hardly seems fair. Well, top deck war. You have ravines. Well, if they're gonna draw a land, I guess I'm glad it's that one. Alright, so there's still 2 cards off of Ren and 6 coming back. Stomping Ground. Alright, big draw step time. Big draw step time. Boom. Redraw. Boom. Sure. I mean, that kills Elemental, trades with Croxa. Or the Ravine. Pick your poison. Yep, I mean, it's a lot better than, like, a Fatal Push. So they can Ravine me now, but I can block and trade. That'll put him 1 off of escaping Croxa, though, so I have to be careful. No attack. Big draw step. Boom. That's really good. Croxa no longer a factor. Classic Jund top deck wars. Pretty much. Yeah, opponent says ouch. Let's see if we can draw a Bloodbraid with this. See, drawing Bloodbraid on command is the difference between a good Jund player and a great Jund player. I am clearly a great Jund player. I have the power of God and anime on my side. I think I'm gonna leave back the Plague Engineer. Is it even greedy? No, that's a ship. Like, if they're using a turn to activate Ravine and attack, I just feel very good. Gotta use all of that clock to win the mirror. Yeah, Kolaghan's command again. Yeah, opponent's luck has run out. Maybe theirs hasn't run out, it's just mine has increased. Spellbomb into Bloodbraid is like the nut. They say GG's. Right? Because like it deals with Kroxa and gives us a Bloodbraid. Alright, sweet. And we're back. So, what was about 24 hours for me was probably about 24 milliseconds for you. Just gonna jump right back into match 4 like nothing ever happened. Currently 2-1. Ooh, excuse me. One lander is a no-go. If we can guarantee a second land, this hand's great, but we cannot guarantee such a thing. This hand's very good. I think I'm honestly just gonna bottom a land. We can cast everything we need off of just 2, so. And then there's a consideration to getting a basic swamp here. We could be against Burn or Prowess. We don't really know. In the dark, it's probably safest to just get a swamp, and then if the coast is clear, I can Stomping Ground for a creature on the second turn. Ooh, we're playing against Amulet. Alright, they've got 6 lands. Alright, so I mean, turn 2 Tarmogoyf after taking turn 1 Amulet is probably one of the better ways to win. Alright, so drawing Blackleaf Cliffs makes this a much easier Stomping Ground. Ooh, another Tarmogoyf. That's pretty good. Unlikely that the Thoughtseize actually hits anything. I think I actually do want to just hold the Thoughtseize for when the opponent is closer to being able to get a Titan into play, because I think I'm going to want to be able to stop the first Titan. If I Thoughtseize and the opponent's got 2 copies of Titan, then it'll be unfortunate, but I'm just going to Thoughtseize them, I think, the turn right before they can Titan. Uh-oh. Castle. Alright, so Selesnya Sanctuary means that they do get to Titan, so I think this is the Thoughtseize turn. Hopefully they only have one copy of Titan, if any. Alright, they've got one copy of Titan. Glyphs are 4/5. We get to play just another thing that attacks. Another land. Jam. Alright, so you're dead in a turn. If you brick. And that's a brick, but I mean, they can block. Removal spell kills, though. That does not count. I guess I'll just play a land and jam. And at this point, I think even if the opponent finds Titan, I should be fine. And I can eat one creature just to make an additional lethal threat. Like, they can maybe Titan get a Colony Garden. But if I leave one creature in the yard, make this a 3/3, I'll have 3 lethal things. So even a Titan bringing along a plant should be good to go. Sick. Alright, so Amulet Titan. Let's bring in both Damping Spheres, the Cleansing Wildfires, and it's probably it. What's up, Udok? Yep, this is the previous league. So 2-1 in the league, and now up a game. I don't like Scavenging Ooze at all here. It's just way too slow. It's a Grizzly Bear way too often, I think. I'm gonna cut one off of the top, and then I need 2 more cuts. We saw the opponent is playing Sakura Tribe Scout, which makes Renin 6 slightly better, but I still think Renin 6 is going to be pretty weak on average. So I think I'm honestly just going to cut them. On the play, I think I'll bring them back in because of the Scout, but they're just way too slow on the draw, I think. Like, the only good use for this is exactly killing Scout, and that's just really not a lot. This is excellent. So we're going to have to be at least a little concerned about Veil of Summer. But I mean, you can only do so much about it. Alright, they don't have it on 1, so that's good. So I'm going to, I suppose... Ooh, that's a really good pickup too. Go for a Blood Crypt. It's possible I just get basic Swamp here. I may want this Bob to do a lot of work. Yeah, opponent on Amulet Titan. I think getting basic Swamp here isn't super crazy. I took the Renin 6s out, so I think basic Swamp is pretty free. They've got Explore and a Dryad, both of which are pretty annoying. I think I'm just going to take the Dryad. It makes Termaglyph bigger, and they both do something similar. Like, obviously Explore draws a card, but I'm concerned about Dryad. Alright, and Forest was the fresh pickup. Bog, probably they're targeting themselves, okay. Well, they can always bounce it and replay it. Another land, not bad. So I'm between now casting Termaglyph and casting Dark Confidant. I don't want to cast Kroxa. The opponent's just going to discard a land, and then they could just like bounce Bog, replay Bog, hit her Kroxa. I think I want to cast Dark Confidant. It's going to attack for a similar amount as Termaglyph at this stage, and it's going to help me find additional sources of disruption, ideally. Tracker, that's bad. Bolter push, please. Decay works, Liliana works. A lot of things work to kill this tracker. How about 2 Glyphs? No bounce lands in play quite yet. If I attack, the opponent can't really block. Or I guess they could, but they shouldn't. Let's jam. Don't think I'm winning this matchup by sitting back. Might as well get in with the bobble. Its attack is good. Alright, so opponent knew about a Goyf, but not anymore. Alright, so Bog to hand. Grazer, yep. This tracker is gonna be problematic. No attack. I mean, I guess the opponent realizes the same thing I do, and said I really need to be the one attacking here, so they can easily just sit back here and let the tracker accrue advantage. Bolter a push, please. Thoughtseize is not it. I mean, I could Bloodbraid and try to hit it that way. I'm kind of thinking that's what I have to do. I need to get this tracker dead. Alternatively, I could just go Goyf, but Goyfs are kind of small compared to this right now. So I think I'm going to Hail Mary this. Try to find... This is also the last turn that a Bolt would deal with the tracker. Alright, well, Liliana's going to kill an Arboreal Grazer. Not super impressive. I don't really think I want to be plussing. And this doesn't outsize anything. I guess I could attack with Bloodbraid, so let's do that. Alright, well, I'm not beating a Titan on top of a tracker, I don't think, but let's see what the opponent gets. Do I think Tireless Tracker is good enough for Jund? I've tried it in the past and it's been fine. I think you get better threats while playing Jund. So I don't know that it's super necessary. Alright, and we don't have a good block anymore. Let's just let this Liliana die. Another Bob and a push. Well, the push is a little late. We can revolt off of Croxa, but then we still have to face down a Titan, which is probably going to be bouncing like Teleria West to set up future Titans. I mean, it's possible I can just like put enough Tarmogoyfs in front of this to trade. Alright, so I think I need to start by getting Revolt, which means I have to cast Croxa. Just drawing a card to have a choice, yeah. Alright, well, the plan now is just put enough things in front of a Titan to trade with it. The opponent just like has 5 cards sitting in play though, which is going to be rough. Oh god. I'll scoop to another Titan. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Tracker gave us the business. So I mentioned maybe wanting Ren and 6. I think it's just too weak. Like, this card does nothing. Like, buying back lands just straight doesn't matter as soon as you have, like, your third or fourth land. You know, I kind of just like how it's set up. Let's go first. I think I'm keeping. I have Inquisition on 1, Goyf on 2. Both can kill their first thing. Liliana's going to be excellent if I can curve into it. Like, it doesn't have a sideboard card, but it has all the non-sideboard cards that I'm happy to see. Alright, between the two, I guess it's Amulet. That's annoying. That's going to insulate Liliana. Oh, wow, that was excellent. I'm just going to play that. So I guess Forest Explorer, play Gruul Turf, bounce a garden. Yoink. Yep. Yeah, Dark Confidant was a really good draw here. Obviously, we still need to find lands. Great. Oh, he drew Cleansing Wildfire as well. That's really good. We can hit the Gruul Turf with it. I think I even want to hit the Gruul Turf now as opposed to just playing another Tarmogoyf. We've got a few good options here, right? Like we want to get Liliana down to start hitting the opponent's hand too. So like there are a quite a good number of things to consider here. Let's just lead with an attack. So I do want to find clocks, right? So like Goyf would be the next best clock to play. Liliana's going to be good at disrupting the opponent's hand, but 6 cards is a lot to work through. It's kind of close. I think what I'm going to do is I think I am just going to cast this Cleansing Wildfire, and then I might just bolt the plant. I need to keep the board relatively clear so that Liliana Edicting can maybe edict something good. I do know they've got another Colony Garden, unfortunately. But, I mean, Bob is in play, so hopefully it can continue to find us gas. Alright, and another land isn't the worst possible. Alright, so there's that. Yep. Alright, again, not super happy to be bolting, but I'm going to use my mana where I can. Reveal the Forest. I think what I'm going to do here is play Kroxa and Tarmogoyf. The opponent's still a decent ways off of Titan. I guess 2 land drops if they've got Castle. It's possible the opponent's got like a Baloth or something, so I think I should attack first. Goyf is going to outsize a Baloth, so an attack is safe if I'm playing Goyf second. I'll cast Kroxa first, so the opponent discards without the info. And then I'll probably just play Peatland and tap that. I don't want to play Forest, I don't think. Forest doesn't escape Kroxa. So let's just cast this. Hope they don't have like a Baloth. If they do, it'll suck, but it won't be the end of the world. Alright, and then I guess if I want to escape Kroxa next turn, I need to fetch now, so that way another fetch land next turn just does it, right? So let's get, I guess, Overgrown Tomb. That's the green one. I could have, if I wanted to be a little less painful, I guess, left Stomping Ground up, so then I can use this green here, but I don't want to get basic Swamp, I don't think. Brutal. Didn't matter. Alright, come on, Bob. Do the work. Bloodbraid, that's really good. We really do need to just keep on pressuring the opponent here, so I think Bloodbraid is actually probably the best reveal possible. Liliana would be good to get plant out of the way, but I think Bloodbraid is Bloodbraid effectively does just as much damage, except it attacks a couple extra times. As long as the opponent doesn't have Castle and the Titan, I think I'm okay here. And then I took the Scavenging Oozes out, right? They're no creatures anyway. Yeah, so there's no reason to leave up a green. I guess I'll play Forest. That's the one they know about. Push. Push is fine. That kills plant. This Bob has been so good. Alright, so now if the opponent goes Castle, Titan, they didn't do anything? Okay. I think they misclicked, but maybe it just didn't matter. Let's go first. Oh, this is a hand. I think I'm keeping it. There's a lot this hand's gonna be good against. It's pretty awkward, but I mean, double disruption that we're guaranteed to be able to cast is hard to pass up on. Prowess. All right, well this hand's excellent versus prowess. I think I'm just gonna take the idiot. And by idiot, I mean the creature. Oh, they drew another. Well, I've got to push for it. That's fine. All right, and that was a very good draw. I think what I'm still gonna do is I'm just gonna play this tapped. I'm gonna let them make all of their decisions with the spells before combat, and then I'll just push the Swift Spear. And I think getting this source down is still fine. Like, if I play Ravine here, I could, like, maybe Liliana on 3. Alright, so I guess they're trying to light up the stage, but I'm gonna... Actually, I guess if I push, light up the stage works anyway, right? Kind of funny. But, I mean, it is what it is. Oh, they didn't do it. They didn't realize, maybe. But yeah, I'm pretty sure light up the stage works, right? Yeah, I did lose life, so I guess they just didn't realize. Thoughtseize isn't getting much better. And then I guess at this point I'll just take the light up the stage. It's the 2-for-1. Yeah, I'll take the 2-for-1. Land, go. There's consideration to taking exactly Lightning Bolt, because then maybe Ooze gets to live, but this Ooze isn't even looking that impressive. Swamp. Alright, they can bolt Bloodbraid, but I'm not going to not play Bloodbraid, so here it is. Tarmogoyf, that's the best possible. Well, we just needed another threat for when this one died. That doesn't get bolted easily. So yeah, I think tipping point of this game was the opponent not realizing they could cast their light up the stage. We can push that. Ooh, Kolaghan's Command. I think I might want to just do that instead. Playing Scavenge Ooze isn't really achieving much. And I can still hold up push. We can also just buy back Bloodbraid. They could have mutagenic growth, but with that being the worst case scenario, actually I guess they can't. We know their hand. I'll say without even being worst case scenario, we could always just fatal push their thing anyway. So let's just buy back Bloodbraid and shock the Sprite Dragon. Yeah, this is the rest of yesterday's league. Alright, so they went bottom. So I could Inquisition, or I could just play Bloodbraid here. I don't think they can bolt me down from 12 with only 2 lands in play. So let's just try to make it so the opponent only has 1 turn left, which should be pretty much impossible. They'd have to have like land, Sprite Dragon, mutagenic growth, and a bolt or something ridiculous. I think even that's short, right? Because mutagenics count for 3 apiece when you put counters, so that would be 6, 7 originally. Bolt is 10. It would be 11. I'd be at 1. So like not even that does it. Brutalities are great. I don't think I'm Plague Engineering. It's pretty fragile. I think I will bring in Spell Bomb. It's pretty good versus Lava Dart. And if the opponent is playing Bedlam Reveler, it's a way to combat that as well. Huntmaster is interesting, but it's a bit slow. I think I'm cutting one off of the top. I'm going to cut the Kolaghan's commands. The opponent doesn't really kill my stuff very often, and 2 damage doesn't actually kill a lot very often. Like a single prowess trigger prevents it from dying. So, I mean, 3 mana to not kill a thing is pretty bad, I think. And then on the draw, I like cutting Bob, I think. At least 1. They play Lava Dart. But, I mean, also, like, any removal kills Bob. I think I actually want to keep 2 Bobs over these 2 Thoughtseizes. Thoughtseizes can take Reveler and Stormwing, so maybe that's a point in their favor. But, I mean, I still like Bob in the matchup. I think they're just better than Thoughtseize, probably. Huntmaster, I think, is probably just a bit too slow. I mean, I guess it stops the ground creatures pretty alright. Maybe it's better than, like, a Bloodbraid. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I feel like in general people are so ready to take Dark Confidant out or just not play it at all. I think people think like losing life is some ridiculously bad thing, and it is, and I think this is one of the matches where losing life is definitely a bad thing. But if I'm losing 5 or 6 points off of it to draw a removal spell and like a Goyf, like I'm very happy about that. Alright, so we may want to be afraid of Blood Moon. We can pretty freely fetch around the moon with these 2 lands, but that means we can't have a bolt available. And I really think I want to have a bolt available, because if the opponent like plays Stormwing on 2, we can try to bolt it and then untap and play a Tarmogoyf, and that seems like a great position to be in. Drawing Mountain is kind of awkward, because now I kind of just have to play it. Like, I could have fetched it, but, I mean, now I can't. Sure. And I think I'm gonna just take 1 here, because if the opponent has mutagenic growth, I'm getting hit for 4, and I don't kill their thing. Okay, so they still get the counter, but I don't take 4. Bob's interesting. So I still have Liliana's in the deck. If I fetch a forest, I won't be able to Liliana on 3 if I wanted to. And forest also doesn't escape Croxa, which is pretty annoying. I think I'm just gonna get an Overgrown Tomb and play Tarmogoyf. I'm not super excited about paying life, but I think getting forest takes away my best draw. Yeah, I could play the Bob here, but I think I'm in a position where since the opponent is already ahead of me, I think I have to kind of race. Alright, I'll bottom it. I know I said I have to race here, but I need to find an answer for this thing more now. I'm just not winning the race to the single Sprite Dragon. So I need to find, like, obviously the best case would be Liliana. I mean, push is next best case. Ooze. Ooze is not great. I mean, I guess now I'll Bob. Get this down, say go. And then just really hope this Bob can flip an answer. Yikes. Alright, need to hit an answer. That's not one of them. Alright, I will get a Swamp. I will play a Bloodbraid and then just cross my fingers that I can spike a Fatal Push. Not even Liliana is going to be enough right now. There's the push. And then, do I want to attack? I don't even think I can. I think I needed to absorb some damage in hopes of next turn finding a way to hit Soul Scar. Yikes. Alright, so only attack here means I guess they don't have mutagenic growth. I mean, I guess I can Croxa and Ooze. There's only, I guess there are 2 creatures in the yard. I can Ooze, eat a thing, go up to 8, take 1 down to 7. It's not a great position to be in. I mean, Croxa doesn't really do a whole lot right now, but I can't really... I guess I could escape it next turn if I'm willing to pay a life. So yeah, I guess I'll go Ooze, play Ravine, probably just eat a thing now. I don't want to I don't want this dying to like one of their 2 damage spells, like a Burst Lightning. And then I could play this to get an extra life, but I have to pay a life for that to work. So I think that's a no-go. And I'll leave both of these back. If they attack and only have like 1 bolt somehow, maybe I can trade with this. The mono Sprite Dragon draw. Yep. Well, I don't have Plague Engineer on the deck, which would be the funny nut draw. Spell Bomb. Does that do anything? Not really. So if I cast Croxa and escape Croxa, which I do have the mana for, that puts me to 5. Meaning I'm dead to any 1 spell, but I'm already dead to any 1 spell. I kind of just have to hope the opponent's hand is like all creatures or something. Maybe they're holding lands. I guess, yeah, I guess their hand is a lot of creatures, huh? So now that they've discarded a creature, does anything change now that I can gain another life? I can go up to 7. I mean, if they bolt me down to 4, I still get hit for 4. So I still think I want to put my bigger threat in play, which means maybe I need to start attacking. I guess I can use the escape as some information. See what they discard. I mean, if their hand is just creatures, then I think we're okay. It's looking like just creatures. I least want to block with the ooze. I think I'll leave 2 things back, so let's jam just here. Alright, and then if their hand is somehow not spells, we'll be okay. Okay, so you're telling me there's a chance. So we can gain 2. Inquisition's an interesting one. I guess I should just lead there. And it is just creatures. Alright, that was what we needed to happen. Spellbound can make sure that the Stormwing isn't really a thing. Do I have a good attack? So I attack all. If they put Soulscar in front of Kroxa, they take only 6. If I can draw a removal spell off of Peatlands, I can then eat a thing and then kill the opponent. So I guess I should just go for the win now play. I can still just hold up all of my green in the event that I don't hit it. Alright, so let's sack this. And then removal spell wins it. Non-Liliana, like non... Oh, not that removal spell. I mean, I guess that does kill a Sprite Dragon if it's not big at all, which it isn't. Spunky Sniffer, thanks for the follow. So the opponent only has 4 spells, so... Not afraid of Reveler. I mean, I guess I'm attacking, right? Does this Renin 6 actually change anything? If they somehow don't block, they die. Like, if I attack all. If I play Renin 6, though, and, like, ping one of these things, I can only gain 1 up to 4, which means I'm still just dead to a spell. I mean, as it sits now, I can eat... I guess there are 2 creatures, so up to 5. It's still the same thing. I need to fade a spell. I guess I should just kill a Sprite Dragon then. It gives me another thing to eat in the future. I guess if that's the plan, I should attack first so the opponent's got the least info, right? Again, I could attack all to threaten lethal. But I mean, as is, the opponent might be worried because like they could die to burn spells. Alright, so they ditched the Stormwing, which is weird, because that's like the card they're going to have an easier time casting. Alright, and I do think I should eat something now. Just to do an extra damage. Yep. Smack ya. Alright, so hopefully somehow Fade again will win. What's up, Spunky Sniffer? Oh no! Can you cantrip into any burn spell in your deck? Any burn spell does it. I think Manamorphose doesn't do it. Light Up the Stage doesn't do it. Obviously, more creatures don't do it. Fiery Islet, that doesn't do it. They're looking for mutagenic growth now. Alright, they concede. Alright. So we got the 4-1, finishing up yesterday's league. So I'll do a quick deck tech / wrap up for purposes of the recording as soon as I figure out how to find my deck again. Jund Currents. There we are. Alright, so pretty good result with this list. I guess let's talk about the sideboard first. I don't usually do that. So the damping spheres and the cleansing wildfires have still felt very still felt very good. They've done very well. I think this is the split that I'm gonna continue to play until I have a significant reason to do something otherwise. I've really liked the damping spheres as hate pieces 4 and 5. People have suggested that maybe I should play 4th wildfire before 2nd damping sphere, but I think damping sphere is better in a lot of places where wildfire isn't as good. They definitely have some overlap, like for example the Amulet Titan opponent. I brought in both. I think damping sphere actually better versus the Amulet Titan decks, because the opponent's bounce lands do a lot less on their opponent's turn, because obviously like, this is a sorcery speed answer. But I mean, also against stuff like Storm and Tron, I really like the damping spheres even more so than the cleansing wildfire, because like wildfire is a one and done, and it cantrips, which is nice, but cleansing wildfire they actually have to remove or it turns off all of the lands, right? So this is more of a catch-all land hate piece. I still like the 3 spell bombs. They're my only pieces of grave hate. I guess in this version of the deck I'm playing 2 ooze, so it's not that's not strictly true, but in the sideboard spell bomb is definitely just like the only like permanent grave hate that I have, and it's been very good. I even brought it in the Jund mirror where we saw it neutralizing a Croxa, and that was pretty big. Versus blue white and Is It, Prowess, and Burn, the top 3 decks right now. I really like the collected brutalities, so still really feeling good about those. The Huntmaster, we saw the Huntmaster's pretty much best absolute case against the Jund opponent, where I think it flipped back and forth 4 times, and that was absolutely insane. The Engineers were very good, as they usually are, and we didn't see the Ferocidon. I brought it in once versus the Simic Hardened Scales opponent with the idea that maybe if they pop a hanger back into 9 things, they just 9-ball themselves. But that never happened. I never saw the Ferocidon. So the 2 Ren and 6s actually did fairly well. But I think we played against more X1s than we are used to. We played against, in round 1, we played against a Naya Zoo deck that was playing like Noble Hierarchs and Dryad Arbors. And then the round after that, we played against the deck playing lots of servos. So, I mean, we had an abnormally like high number of X1 opponents. And Ren and 6s were fine there. That said, I don't know that they were going to be much better than just like another Dark Confidant. But I mean, they were definitely serviceable, and I dare I say good. I still like the split of 4 Inquisitions, 2 Thoughtseizes. It just has felt solid for a while. And then the 3 pushes, 3 bolts. I still think the split is good, because I'm still decently afraid of facing down a Death Shadow with a bolt in my hand that I wish was a fatal push. So I think a 3-3 split, still plenty fine. There were a few spots where I would have missed the Maelstrom Pulse, but it's fine. I mean, I was always just missing the Pulse, because every once in a while your opponent has like 2 of the same permanent and you wish to draw it. But I mean, usually killing one of the 2 things will get you out of a sticky spot anyway. So I mean, the Pulse is a 3-mana sorcery. It's the least efficient spell in the deck by a lot. But I mean, it does the job. But I mean, other cards do the job too. So I can't say that I'm particularly missing the Pulse. The 2 Kolaghan's commands were excellent. I think they were one of my better cards in most of the matchups I faced. And then the Liliana is still just absolutely excellent. And the Bloodbraid's obviously excellent as well. Being able to summon them on command, as we learned, is a pretty powerful skill to have. So that's going to be it for this Jund League. Thanks all for stopping by. And if you're watching this here on YouTube, you should definitely like and subscribe for more content like this. Spunky Sniffer, thank you for the subscription. I really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to stop the recording here, but I'm definitely going to be hanging out, maybe even starting another league. Not sure yet, but I'm going to stop the recording here. So for y'all on YouTube, have a good one, and until next time, Jund them out.